Happy July 4th, everybody. This is your latest Hurricane Tracker app video update. Well, we're still monitoring the surface trough located here in the eastern Gulf of Mexico. It is continuing to bring a deep surge of tropical moisture into the southeastern United States. And unfortunately, for those of you who live in these regions who have been getting pummeled by this moisture, this is going to continue here on the holiday. And I hate to say it, but it's going to ruin a lot of beach plans here along the Florida Panhandle. And this moisture will continue to surge in, bringing several more inches of rain throughout the day. And we're going to be looking towards this area down here over the next 2 to 3 days for development of a weak low pressure area. But as far as right now, the National Hurricane Center is only giving this a 10% chance of development during the next 48 hours, and it's going to slowly propagate to the west northwest, and eventually over the next 2 to 3 days it'll be located here over the western Gulf of Mexico. Here's the latest infrared satellite imagery out of the eastern Gulf of Mexico, and you can see the deep tropical moisture starting to refire here in a lot of places, and this moisture is set to continue to move onshore throughout the day here in the southeastern United States. The reason this isn't moving very much, and it's been here for a few days now, is we have a very strong high pressure ridge that is holding to the east of the system, and then we have an upper level trough of low pressure here over the northwestern Gulf, and this surface trough is kind of sandwiched in between these two systems, so it really can't move to the east and it really can't move to the west. But over the next couple of days, this surface trough here over the northwest Gulf of Mexico is forecasted to weaken and lift out, and this is going to allow this system here to eventually work its way towards the west. Now, if you can see on the satellite here, you see how quickly these clouds are moving from southwest to northeast here. That's indicating a lot of upper level wind shear, and that's the main reason nothing has been able to develop out of this mess, as the higher cloud tops are just being blown off towards the east, and that's not a good environment for tropical systems to develop. But if you notice, the further south you get into the Gulf of Mexico here, the clouds are not nearly moving as fast up in the upper levels. So down here in this region, the environment is a little more conducive for development, and the GFS American model is forecasting a weak low pressure area to eventually form down here over the next 2 to 3 days, and then slowly move towards the northwest Gulf of Mexico. And we'll take a closer look at that model here in just a moment. I do want to flip over to the radar imagery here out of the Florida Panhandle, and as you can see, just a never-ending surge of moisture. We've already had upwards of 10 inches of rain here in this flash flood warning area northwest of Panama City. Right now, for those of you in Pensacola, it's very cloudy, but there's no rainfall. But throughout the course of the day, we do expect that to change as this batch of moisture slowly begins to work its way towards the west. If we go back to the GFS America model that we've been looking at, I'm going to go ahead and put this into motion. This yellow area down here represents spin in the lower levels. So keep your eye focused down here, and then as we move forward in time, you'll see a weak system develop and move up towards southeast Texas and southwest Louisiana here. So now we're getting into tomorrow. We have a very weak, a very broad circulation this model is forecasting. Then as we get into Saturday, it begins to tighten up here, and we can actually possibly see a surface low form off of the southwest coast of Louisiana, become a little bit tighter, a little bit stronger, and move ashore there. So if anything does develop out of this, we're not expecting a strong system. It would probably be a weak tropical depression that is disorganized, or maybe a sloppy 40-mile-per-hour tropical storm. But this would be some good news, as we need some moisture, we need some rainfall here in these parts of the country. So right now, the odds of this happening are about 50-50. This is not a guarantee, but there is a slight potential of a system developing here in the western Gulf of Mexico. Now I'm going to continue to play this model out here over the next 7 to 10 days, and you can see there's really no other areas, maybe some weak tropical waves that come off of the coast of Africa, but there's a lot of African dust and dry air here in the central and eastern Atlantic right now. So at least for the next 7 to 10 days, the models are not picking up on anything substantial. But of course, this time of year in the tropics, that can always change from run to run, and we'll definitely be here with the latest updates. And one thing you can see, and I'm going to pause it and point it out here in just a moment. I'm going to go ahead and stop it about right here. You can see with this area here, we're going to have a very strong ridge of high pressure that's persisting. So if anything does develop, it looks like it's going to continue to be able to move towards the west, towards the land masses. So we'll keep you updated on the tropics. Have a great holiday, everybody. Thanks for using the Hurricane Tracker app, and have a great day.